Alright, so I want to maximize the utility of this Pelican case. It's the Storm IM3100 for travel. Alright, if I have to get on a plane with a gun or whatever. So I don't need hearing protection and all that crap in there. I've seen guys cut their foam for like their ear pro or whatever. I'm like, dude, just throw that in your carry-on or whatever, no big deal. The D60, right, from whoever makes it, Magpul, is a little big, sticks out a little bit. This is going to be on the top piece of foam, but the case will close with that in there. All right, it's probably not real happy, but it closes, so that's cool. And then if I angle the rifle like this, I can get magazines here, another one probably right in there, and here. So I can get 6 standard magazines and a D60 in here. That's pretty good. And then again, this is just going to be the top layer of foam. I know I have the foam out right now, but I'm just kind of measuring things. The top layer of foam is going to sit on a piece of plastic, and then that plastic is going to have rope handles that I can use to lift out that top tray. The plastic is going to have foam on the underside and the upper side wherever it needs it to keep the rifle and stuff from riding on plastic. Whenever you cut out like your gun, save that piece and then slice through it like a piece of bread, maybe 3/4 of an inch, whatever, and then stick that in on top of the plastic to have a perfect little piece of foam that matches what you cut out when you're done. So definitely save that. Whatever you cut out of here, save the foam, and then I'll go through the process of like building the tray. Let me go grab one real quick. I've got a pistol case that I've got set up. Let me show you what that kind of looks like. All right, so this one is I don't know, Vault. I forget the model number that I did for some pistols. And again, I want it to be functional, right? I'm buying 2 layers. I want that to work. So I made the mistake when I cut these pistols out of throwing out the foam. But if you do, for whatever reason, you can buy this foam on Amazon. It's adhesive backed. It worked fine. But I did that because the previous one that I had done like this had the pick and pluck. That when you pick and pluck the foam out, you pretty well tear the foam up. It's destroyed. You can't just slice through it and put a piece down there. It's going to fall apart or whatever. And I highly recommend doing the what is this stuff called? Flex Seal. If you do, the way to do it is to pour some like on a paper plate or something. Okay, so mix it up, pour it on a paper plate, and then take, like, this is the top, flip it over, dip it into the Flex Seal, coat it really good, and then set it on a piece of wax paper. Wax paper, not whatever that other stuff is. What is it? Parchment paper? Don't use that, okay? I can tell you from experience. And then your plastic on the bottom is just a plastic sheet, ABS, acrylonitrile, butadiene, styrene. You can pick it up on Amazon. It's a few bucks. Cut it to the size you need. Make sure you trim the corners so that it doesn't hang up real bad. It can be a little bit smaller than your foam. It can be in here a little bit. Drill a couple of holes. Pull your rope through. Tie a knot, and then have the rope come down around the outside of the plastic. Let me see if maybe I can get you a view of that. Dumping these guns everywhere. Let's see. Yeah. All right, there you go. And just up and around. This is only like 2 coats of. Why do I keep forgetting the name of it? Flex Seal, okay? which is really cool. The first time I did this, somebody was like, oh, just use a brush and put it on there and set it out to dry. Well, what that does is the Flex Seal will absorb into the foam and it doesn't stay on the surface. And you end up using a lot more Flex Seal than you would want. So at this point, I'm done with the top. It's all finished. I need to do some cutouts over here for the magazines for all of these guns. And then I can Flex Seal this one. If you Flex Seal it, it just, especially with the pick and pluck, you definitely want to Flex Seal it, because putting things in and out, in and out, in and out is going to tear that pick and pluck eventually, and it falls apart and it sucks. Make sure that, like I said, your plastic, let me show you real quick, is a little smaller, a little trimmed up or whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, in terms of the size of the piece of foam. It just needs to be perfect in the fact that you're not going to scrape on the side of the case. And then when you're ready to put the foam and the plastic together, I recommend using Gorilla Glue, okay? Because it expands a little bit as it cures, and it needs a little bit of moisture. So you scuff your plastic. Okay, what I did was I drew out, I put the foam on top of the plastic, and then I took a Sharpie and I traced out all of these lines. And I did not scuff underneath here, but I scuffed here and here and here and all of this. Scuff it up really good with like 80 grit sandpaper or whatever, so that the glue will adhere a little better. And then apply your glue to the plastic, okay, wherever you scuffed, put some glue on there. And then put a little bit of water on the bottom side of your foam, and then put the two together. When you put the two together, make sure they're lined up by, I lined the case with 2 pieces of wax paper, okay, and then I put the plastic in there, got it about where I wanted it, put the glue on, put a little bit of moisture on this, and then put this in there. And the reason I use the wax paper is because if the glue expands and it makes contact to anything, I don't want it to make contact to the foam below this or the side of the case. And I did have a couple of points where I ended up having to like scrape off a little bit of glue that had contacted the wax paper. So that's a good idea. But at that point, you've got something that, man, I've taken this to the range a couple of times. I've got this case, and then I've got another one with like a Genesis Gen 12 and an AR-15 and like 3 or 4 other pistols or whatever in it. You take this thing to the range, and like the indoor ranges. I've taken a few young ladies out or whoever, take them out for their first shots. And guys at the range are like, what's in the box, bro? Like, they know there's something coming out of that box, man. It's cool. It's not, not everybody's going to have this. Not everybody's going to need it. If you travel with guns or whatever, this is maybe a project that you want to do. But I travel with guns. That's pretty much all I do. And so for me, this works. For you, maybe you need to do this, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to do it, maybe you don't. But if you do, this is what I've learned so far. Take care, guys.